Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us for this, our final Virtual Choral Contemplations of the series, and thank you for joining us over the past few weeks. It's not, however, our final event of the academic year. We always end our year with a Requiem, which we perform on the summer solstice on the 21st of June. This year we're doing something slightly different, so do come along at 9 o'clock on Sunday the 21st on Facebook and YouTube to find out what we're going to be doing. We also have an event coming up in July. On the 26th of July, we're doing our annual big hymn singing. So that's a community event which we'd encourage everyone to come along to, and there'll be more information about that in due course. So this evening, we're presenting just two pieces selected by members of the choir. These are two favourites of the choir that we've been singing for a number of years. The first is by Britten, and the second is by Peter Sykes, who is a former member of the choir. So our first piece this evening is by Benjamin Britten. It's the Chorale after an old French carol. And Alistair, who's with us here, suggested this piece. So when did you first sing this with the choir?
So it was 9 lessons 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember actually coming up to you after the performance and saying, I think that's my favorite thing we've ever sang. I'd been in the choir for maybe about a year from that point. I don't know what it is about it, but
Something intangible.
Intangible. Yeah. No, I'm very fond of the piece.
So we are joined now by Peter Sykes, who is a former member of the choir and a graduate of Glasgow University. And the next piece that we're going to have a listen to is a piece that he wrote. It's called Rublev, and the text is by Rowan Williams, the former Archbishop of Canterbury. So Peter, what was it that drew you to this text?
Hello. Well, I think straight off the bat, the first line, it has a great first line. One day, God walked in. Like, hey, and it's that kind of instant surprise which I really like, and it's God walked in, pale from the grey steppe, spit-eyed against the wind. So it's God coming to us. It's God in human form, weak and wobbly and cold and tired. I think it's something that's always struck me in a lot of Rowan Williams's poetry, that the human comes through very significantly, not at the expense of the divine, but there's always a sense of the human very present in the divine, which I like.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean it is a beautiful poem. And if you don't know it, you could if you look it up on Google. There's a really excellent article in the Guardian actually. In there, so they have like a poetry series, and would be a great introduction, I think, to the poem if you wanted to read the text. So, how did you approach the setting of this text? It is, as you say, it's quite an unusual perhaps text to set for choir. How did that influence the music you created?
I guess, I mean, it's in stanzas. I don't know if you won't see it on the screen probably, but you can see it's in a few different stanzas. But then, there are, between a couple of them, there's no punctuation whatsoever. It just flows straight from one to the other. So there's kind of, I guess, the structure of the poem is quite ambiguous, because it is divided up into equal sections, but at the same time, there is actually in a grammatical sense, there's no division between them. So the music it's smooth, it flows, is kind of what I was thinking. Again, I think maybe in the sort of divine human thing, there's that sense of flowing very smoothly between one and the other. They're not such rigid categories as one might expect. And that's something which I think comes through in the poem. Hopefully I've done justice to it in the music, but
I think you certainly have. The piece is called Rublev, and that's named for the famous Russian painter. And I believe that Rowan Williams was particularly inspired by one of his paintings.
Yes, yeah, that's true. So the particular painting you're on about, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on.
Yeah,
but what it does, it depicts the three persons of the Trinity. It's an icon with the three persons of the Trinity depicted as angels sat around a table, sharing a meal together. So yeah, it's from a circa 1411, and it's now in the Tretyakov Gallery in Moscow.
So you've talked a little bit about how you approached this poem and how inspiring this poem was for you to set music to. How easy do you find it to set music to words?
I mean a whole lot easier than writing just instrumental music. I find you have to find the right words. If you find the right words, the words will write the music for you. It kind of it's so much easier because it answers all those questions about rhythm and things. They're already in the words. And that I think, again, going back to that idea about flow as well, the words will drive the music where the words need to go. The words go somewhere, and you have to just let them take the music with them. And I've done my best to let that happen, really.